هموطنان عزیز، سلام به شما. در این هفته سلسله از اخبار و رویدادهای امریکا و جهان ما از آدرس ایالات متحده امریکا انعکاسات رسانه‌ای داشت. شما هموطنان عزیز بهتر می‌دانید که از سال 1996 به این طرف رؤسای جمهور ایالات متحده امریکا از حلول عید مسلمانان استقبال می‌کردند و پیام بدین مناسبت از نام رئیس جمهور صادر می‌گردید. اما امسال رئیس جمهور دونالد ترامپ مخالفت خود را در این رابطه اعلان کرد و امسال عید رمضان از طرف قصر سفید استقبال نشد و پیام نیز صادر نگردید. دونالد ترامپ رئیس جمهور ایالات متحده امریکا همچنان تصامیم را که باراک اوباما رئیس جمهور پیشین امریکا در رابطه با بهبود روابط با کشور کوبا اتخاذ کرده بود لغو کرد. ایالات متحده امریکا توافقنامه ای را به ارزش 12 میلیارد دلار برای فروش 70 بال فانتوم 15 با کشور قطر به امضا رسانید و قرار است 40 بال جنگنده دیگر را نیز در کشور قطر به فروش برساند. رئیس جمهور دونالد ترامپ در تلاش است تا انشورنس سی با نام اوباما کیر را لغو و به عوض آن انشورنس جدید را مطرح سازد، ولی با مقاومت جدی دموکرات ها در مجلس سنا مواجه است. نخست وزیر هند نریندرا مودی برای یک سفر 3 روزه وارد امریکا شد و برای اولین بار دونالد ترامپ در دعوت شب در وایت هاوس با نخست وزیر هند غذا صرف کرد و به اساس گزارشات امریکا در صدد آن است تا توافق هند در رابطه با کره شمالی و همچنان ارسال نیروهای نظامی را به افغانستان به دست آورد. For the first time in over 2 decades, the White House did not host an iftar or Eid celebration to mark the end of Ramadan, where 3.3 million Muslims fast annually in the U.S. alone. This had been a White House tradition since 1996. This was a ritual which continued both through President Bush and President Obama's presidencies. George W. Bush hosted the dinner every 2 years for his 2 terms, including just after the 9/11 attacks. He said at the dinner that the fight was against terrorism and not Islam. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson also broke with tradition by not hosting an iftar dinner at the State Department during Ramadan, as it had been for the past 2 decades. In addition, President Trump announced a drastic change in the U.S.-Cuba relationship, swapping a policy of cultural exchange to bring about democratic ideals for something closer to the embargo-style policies from the past decades. Reversing U.S.-Cuba policy was a campaign that promised of Trump's one that has grown increasingly unpopular with the majority of Republican voters, but one that the White House officials said Trump planned to keep. Trump's policy change, however, does not go into effect immediately, as White House officials who briefed reports beforehand pointed out. The final details will be worked out in the future by agencies like the Department of Treasury. Trump's policy also does not completely reverse the Obama administration's policy, though it takes away key parts that allow travel and trade. The largest change from current policy will be doing away with people-to-people exchanges. These trips were enabled under the Obama administration, so Americans could travel to Cuba without asking permission from the U.S. government or having to schedule the trip through a licensed tour company. Trump's new policy also prevents U.S. companies from doing business with Cuba's Armed Forces Business Enterprise Group, which, because it is involved with nearly every sector of the economy, will be severely limit trade. One of the next important events is the one with Saudi Arabia. The United States sealed a multi-billion arms deal with Saudi Arabia, a move that solidifies its decades-long alliance with the world's largest oil exporter, just as President Trump begins his maiden trip abroad as the leader of the free world. The agreement, which is worth $350 billion over 10 years, will take effect immediately, which was hailed by the White House as a significant expansion of the security relationship between the 2 countries. Simultaneously, Saudi Arabia is in broad-based push for economic reform, and as part of that effort signed a flurry of deals with private U.S. companies worth tens of billions of dollars. Saudi Arabia is the primary destination for U.S. arms sales, according to the Council on Foreign Relations, with the kingdom purchasing nearly 10% of U.S. exports from 2011 to 15. Health insurance has also been receiving a lot of arguments lately. A bill to repeal major parts of Obamacare won backing from a majority in the U.S. House of Representatives. That means the bill will now be put to a vote in the Senate, which could lead to Barack Obama's healthcare plan being completely reformed, and parts of it being replaced with Trump's own vision. During his election campaign, scrapping Obamacare was one of his key policies, despite American healthcare costs being the #1 cause of bankruptcy in the U.S. If he is successful, 22 million Americans will be without health insurance, according to the Congressional Budget Office. Under Obamacare, every American must legally have health insurance, with legislation to ensure that health insurance companies are fair. There are also government subsidies available to make insurance more affordable for individuals, but the idea is that if everyone pays a little, including the young and the healthy, then it brings the costs down to healthcare for everyone. And lastly, President Trump and the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi planned Monday, June the 26th, to work together to boost their respective economies, despite remaining disputes over trade, immigration, and climate change policies. President Trump also was warm but made clear that he sees a need for more balance in the U.S. trade relationship, in keeping with his campaign promise to expand Americans' exports and create more jobs that will be at home. Last year, the U.S. trade deficit with India neared $31 billion. Donald Trump said he would like a trading relationship that is fair and also reciprocal. Further details on this topic will be provided as more information emerges throughout the next few days. جوانان وطن، تلویزیون بهار ندای ما و شما جوانان است. بیایید هر کدام ما نقش خود را در راستای روشنگری، اطلاع رسانی و خوشی مردم خود ادا کنیم. بیایید از تلویزیون بهار با همکاری‌های مادی و معنوی خود حمایت کنیم. سپاس از توجهتان. شما را به تعقیب سایر از برنامه‌های دلچسب تلویزیون بهار فرا می‌خوانیم. شب و روزتان خوش.